What if the secret to respect and admiration lay not in the external world but within ourselves? Welcome to a journey into the heart of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has the power to reshape your perspective and transform your life. Born in the bustling markets of Athens, Stoicism has stood the test of time, offering wisdom that remains as relevant today as it was over 2,000 years ago. At the core of Stoicism lies the belief that our perceptions, not our circumstances, shape our reality. It teaches us to cultivate an unshakable inner fortress, impervious to the whims of fate and the opinions of others. It's about simplicity, mindfulness, and understanding what is within our control, and more importantly, what isn't. But Stoicism is more than just a philosophy, it's a practical guide to living a fulfilled and respected life, regardless of our external circumstances. So, are you ready to unlock the power of Stoic wisdom? Join us as we delve into 10 powerful Stoic lessons that promise to transform your life. Our first lesson from Stoicism is this: perception is everything. Let's delve into this concept a bit. Perception, as understood by the Stoics, is not merely about how we see the world around us. It's about how we interpret and react to the events and circumstances of our lives. Picture this. Two individuals face the exact same situation. One person perceives it as a disaster, a catastrophe from which they will never recover. The other sees it as a challenge, an opportunity to learn and grow. The situation is the same, but their perceptions, and therefore their realities, are vastly different. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions to events, rather than the events themselves, shape our reality. This is a powerful notion. It suggests that we hold the reins of our own experiences. We are not merely passive spectators, but active participants in the construction of our own realities. Imagine the freedom that comes with this understanding. It means that no matter what life throws at us, we have the power to decide how it affects us. We can choose to let it crush us, or we can choose to rise above it. This is not to say that we should suppress our emotions or ignore the harsh realities of life. It's about learning to respond, not react. It's about understanding that while we can't control the world around us, we can control how we perceive and respond to it. The Stoics believed that our perceptions can either be our greatest strength or our most crippling weakness. They can allow us to transcend even the most challenging circumstances, or they can chain us to our fears and insecurities. The choice is ours to make. So as we navigate through the ups and downs of life, let's keep this Stoic lesson in mind. Our perceptions shape our reality. They have the power to transform challenges into opportunities and trials into triumphs. Remember, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about those things. Stoicism teaches us to embrace simplicity. The Stoics had a very distinct perspective on materialism. They didn't advocate for poverty, nor did they promote lavishness. Instead, they encouraged a middle path, that of simplicity. A simple life, by their definition, was one that prioritized the essentials, the things that truly matter. It was about removing excess, not just in terms of physical possessions, but also in thought and action. Imagine a life unburdened by the pursuit of material wealth, unencumbered by the stress to maintain an image or keep up with societal expectations. Imagine a life where your worth is not dictated by your bank balance, your job title, or the brand of your clothes, but by your virtues, your actions, and your character. That's the life that Stoicism invites us to live, a life of simplicity. Now, this isn't about renouncing all worldly possessions and heading to the hills. It's about understanding the transient nature of material wealth and the true value of things that are often taken for granted, like time, health, and relationships. It's about realizing that the pursuit of more often leads to less time, less peace, less happiness. The Stoics believed in the power of simplicity to bring clarity. By stripping away the unnecessary, we make room for what's important. We free ourselves from the noise and distractions that cloud our judgment, that lead us astray. We find space to breathe, to think, to be. We find room for contentment, for appreciation, for joy. Simplicity is not about deprivation, it's about liberation. It's about freeing ourselves from the shackles of materialism, from the stress and anxiety that come with it. It's about finding contentment in what we have, rather than constantly yearning for what we don't. It's about leading a life that's aligned with our values, our purpose, our true self. In simplicity, we find freedom. Simplicity helps us break free from the chains of consumerism, from the relentless pursuit of more. It helps us find peace in the present, appreciate the little things, and find joy in the everyday. It leads us to a life that's not just fulfilling and meaningful, but also less stressful and more serene. So let's embrace simplicity. Let's embrace freedom. A philosophy is only as good as its practical application. This is a cornerstone of Stoicism. It's not about abstract concepts and metaphysical musings. It's about the very real, very tangible day-to-day existence. It's a philosophy that's grounded, pragmatic, and designed to be used. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't just theorize about life from the comfort of their armchairs. They were active participants in the world. They faced challenges, endured hardships, and navigated complex social and political landscapes. Their philosophy was not a luxury, it was a necessity, a tool for survival and success. Stoicism is not about escaping reality, but engaging with it more fully. It's about taking life as it comes, with all its ups and downs, and finding peace and wisdom in the midst of it all. It doesn't promise an easy life, rather, it offers the tools to handle life's difficulties with grace and resilience. This practicality extends to the core principles of Stoicism. Each Stoic lesson is a guide to action, not just contemplation. For instance, the Stoic concept of living according to nature isn't about going off to live in the woods. It's about understanding our place in the world, recognizing our duties and responsibilities, and fulfilling them to the best of our ability. The Stoic emphasis on virtue is another practical application. Virtue, to the Stoics, is not an abstract ideal, but a way of life. It involves making moral choices, behaving with integrity, and striving to be the best we can be in our everyday lives. So, Stoicism is not just a philosophy to think about, it's a philosophy to live by. It's about rolling up our sleeves and engaging with the world, armed with wisdom, resilience, and a sense of purpose. In the words of Epictetus, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. That's Stoicism in a nutshell. It's not about what we say or think, but about what we do and who we become. Stoicism, a philosophy for living, not just for thinking. The present moment is all we truly have. Such is the wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that advocates living in the here and now. It's a simple concept, but one that holds a profound truth. The only time we can truly experience, affect, or enjoy is the present moment. When we immerse ourselves in the now, we allow ourselves to fully engage with our surroundings, our actions, and our inner selves. This is not to say that we should disregard the past or ignore the future. Rather, it's about acknowledging that the past cannot be changed and the future cannot be predicted. The only certainty lies in the present. Living in the now frees us from the chains of past regrets and future anxieties. It's about letting go of the could-haves and should-haves, the what-ifs and if-onlys. Stoicism teaches us that dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about future outcomes serves no purpose other than to rob us of our present happiness. And let's face it, worrying never solved anything, did it? Instead, Stoicism encourages us to take action in the present. It's about making the most of the situation at hand, right here, right now. It's about accepting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. This acceptance allows us to respond to life's challenges with reason and composure, rather than panic or despair. When we live in the present, we learn to appreciate the simple things in life. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of a loved one, the beauty of a sunset. These moments of joy are all around us, if only we take the time to notice. Stoicism doesn't ask us to abandon our dreams or stop planning for the future. Rather, it teaches us to approach our goals with a sense of purpose and realism, to focus on the journey rather than the destination. After all, success is not a future event, but a present action. The past is gone, the future uncertain. The present, however, is yours. So take hold of it, live it, experience it, breathe it in. Because the present moment is all we truly have. Others' opinions of you are none of your business. This is a powerful adage that resonates deeply with the principles of Stoicism. Let's delve into this perspective. Consider the world as a grand stage where everyone is a performer. Each person is playing their own part, interpreting their roles as best they can. But here's the catch. Your performance is your own. It's not for the audience to critique or control. It's your interpretation, your story to tell. This doesn't mean that you should disregard constructive criticism or feedback. After all, Stoicism encourages us to learn, adapt, and grow. However, it does mean that your worth is not dependent on others' perceptions of you. You are not a marionette, dancing to the whims of others' opinions. This Stoic lesson of indifference to others' opinions is not about arrogance or disregard for others. Rather, it's about cultivating genuine self-esteem and peace of mind. It's about understanding that the only opinion that truly matters in your life is your own. Imagine how liberating it would be to shake off the shackles of others' expectations and judgments. To stride through life with an unshakable confidence, knowing that your worth is self-determined, not decided by the court of public opinion. Stoicism teaches us to be like a rock in the middle of a raging river, unmoved by the currents of criticism and praise alike. This rock is not swayed by the changing tides of opinion. It stands firm in its place, confident in its existence, indifferent to the water's attempts to shape it. This mindset doesn't come easy. It requires practice, patience, and a whole lot of introspection. But once it's achieved, it's a powerful tool for navigating the turbulent seas of societal judgment. So, take a moment and ask yourself, are you living your life based on what others think of you? Are you altering your actions, dampening your dreams, or hiding your true self because of fear of judgment? If so, it's time to break free. True freedom lies in caring less about what others think of you. Embrace this Stoic lesson and watch as your life transforms into a performance that is uniquely, unapologetically you. The power to change your life lies within you. A profound statement indeed, but what does it truly mean? In the context of Stoicism, it refers to the unshakable belief in our inner strength and self-reliance. The Stoics believe that each of us harbors a potent force within, a force that can shape our lives in unimaginable ways. This belief in inner power is not about physical prowess or worldly dominance. No, it's about the power of the mind, the power of the spirit. Stoics understood that we are in control of our own actions, our reactions, and our attitudes. And in this control lies the power to shape our destiny. Imagine a raging storm. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and entirely out of our control, much like the world around us. But we are not the storm. We are the ship sailing through it. And while we cannot command the storm, we can steer the ship. We can control our course, our speed, our direction. This is the power within us. It's the power to choose how we react to adversity. It's the power to decide what we will and won't let affect us. It's the power to shape our character through our actions and decisions. It's the power to remain steadfast and resolute in the face of life's storms. But harnessing this power requires self-awareness and discipline. It requires us to take responsibility for our actions and reactions. It demands that we stop blaming external circumstances for our misfortunes and start looking within for solutions. For the Stoics, this inner power was the key to a fulfilling life. It was the source of their resilience, their courage, their tranquility. It was the wellspring of their dignity and self-respect. And it can be the same for us. You are your own master, remember this, and live freely. This is the essence of Stoicism. This is the power within. Learn to distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. A fundamental tenet of Stoic philosophy, this statement invites us to examine our lives and our reactions to the world around us. The Stoics understood that life is often unpredictable, and many of its events are beyond our control. Despite this unpredictability, we are still in control of one thing: our responses. We decide how to react, how to think, and how to feel. Our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, these are the territories we govern. Consider for a moment a ship at sea. The captain cannot command the winds or waves, but he can steer the ship and adjust the sails. He can't control the sea, but he can control his response to it. In the same way, we can't dictate the circumstances of life, but we can navigate through them with wisdom and resilience. Now let's talk about acceptance. Acceptance isn't about passive resignation, but about understanding the limits of our control. It's about acknowledging the reality of our situation and choosing to respond in the most constructive way possible. It's not about giving up, but about focusing our energy where it can make a real difference. What happens when we accept what we cannot control? We find peace. We free ourselves from the stress and anxiety that come from futile attempts to change the unchangeable. We stop fighting against the current and start flowing with it. We stop resisting life and start living it. It's not easy, of course. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. But the reward is worth the effort. When we learn to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, we find a sense of calm and tranquility. We find serenity. Serenity comes with understanding our sphere of control. So remember, focus on what you can change, accept what you can't, and navigate life with the wisdom of a Stoic. Your emotions are not your masters, you are theirs. In the realm of Stoic philosophy, emotions are considered not as inherently bad, but as potentially disruptive if left unchecked. They are like powerful horses that, if not properly tamed, can run wild and lead us astray. So, we must learn to harness them effectively. Understanding our emotions is the first step on this path to mastery. It's about recognizing that emotions arise from our interpretations of events, not the events themselves. It's raining outside. That's a fact. But whether this makes us feel miserable or peaceful is entirely up to us. When we grasp this concept, we can start to see that our emotions don't control us. We control them. We can choose how to interpret the world around us and, consequently, how to feel about it. The Stoics also taught that we should not suppress our emotions but rather transform them. Anger can become patience. Fear can become courage. Jealousy can become admiration. It's like the alchemy of the soul, turning base emotions into gold. Of course, this doesn't mean that we should never feel negative emotions. On the contrary, they are an essential part of the human experience, but we should not let them dictate our actions or cloud our judgment. When we master our emotions, we can react to life's challenges with calm and wisdom. We can maintain our peace of mind in the face of adversity. We can live more balanced and fulfilling lives. Remember, the key is not to become emotionless, but to become the master of your emotions, to feel them, to understand them, and to guide them in a direction that aligns with your values and goals. Master your emotions, master your life. Your happiness depends on you and only you. This is a truth embraced by Stoics, a belief that happiness is not a fleeting commodity, dependent on external factors, but a choice that resides within us. It's a powerful concept, isn't it? The idea that we hold the keys to our own contentment. Life, as we know, is a roller coaster of ups and downs, victories and defeats, joys and sorrows. The Stoics teach us that we can't control these external events, but we can control how we respond to them. Our power lies in our perspective, in our ability to choose how we interpret and react to life's challenges. Imagine viewing every obstacle as an opportunity for growth, every setback as a lesson learned. This is the Stoic way. It's about creating an inner fortress, resilient and unshakable, regardless of the storms that rage outside. So, if you find yourself in the pursuit of happiness, remember this Stoic lesson. Happiness is not something to be found, but rather something to be chosen. Choose to be happy. The power is in your hands. We've journeyed through 10 powerful Stoic lessons today. We started by understanding that our perception shapes our reality. It's not the events themselves, but how we interpret them that matters. We then embrace simplicity, realizing that a modest life, free from the trappings of materialism, can bring peace of mind. We learned that our philosophy must be practical, not confined to theory, but something that works in the real world. We also acknowledge the importance of living in the present, the only moment we truly have. We let go of the opinions of others, understanding that what they think of us is beyond our control and irrelevant to our self-worth. We delved into the power within us, acknowledging that our internal strength is a greater force than any external circumstance. We strive to be the best versions of ourselves, realizing that self-improvement is a continuous journey. We recognized what is within our control, letting go of what isn't, and acting accordingly. We understood that mastering our emotions is crucial, not to suppress them, but to not let them control us. Finally, we realized that our happiness is up to us. It's not dependent on external factors, but on our internal state of mind. Each of these lessons holds significant wisdom, but remember, wisdom is nothing without action. To be respected and admired, it's essential to apply these lessons in our daily lives. Let them guide your decisions, shape your interactions, and influence your mindset. Remember, the path to respect and admiration starts within. Begin your Stoic journey today.